Hey, what's up y'all, it's Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious crispy honey shrimp over rice. Now we take the shrimp, we peel it, clean it, and devein it. And after that, we season it, we marinate it. Then it is coated with a seasoned egg and all-purpose cornstarch and panko breadcrumbs batter. Then from there, it is fried in hot oil. Once the shrimp has been fried, we coat it with a sweet and tangy and a little spicy honey sauce. And the great thing about this recipe, you can serve it over a bed of rice. This recipe calls for about 2 to 4 servings. It's absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your crispy honey shrimp over rice. Let's get started with our ingredients. You will need 1.5 to 2 pounds of medium-sized Louisiana shrimp that has been peeled, cleaned, and deveined. And along with that, you're going to need some all-purpose flour, cornstarch, panko breadcrumbs, sugar, large eggs at room temperature, vegetable or canola oil, honey, rice cooking wine, vinegar, soy sauce, and for your seasonings, you'll need some salt, black pepper, Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Now if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. You will also need some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood Magic, onion powder, garlic powder, and some crushed red pepper. And for your tools, you'll need a medium-sized pot or a deep fryer. You will also need a cooling rack and some cooked rice. Now, if you don't want to serve this with cooked rice, you don't have to use the cooked rice if you don't want to. All right, and it'll be served as an appetizer. That's basically it. And there we have it. All right, let's get straight to it. So we transferred our shrimp into this medium-sized bowl. They've already been cleaned, peeled, and deveined and ready to go. Now let's add some seasoning. I'm going to sprinkle about 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of Chef Paul's Seafood Magic, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of rice cooking wine, and about 1/2 teaspoon of honey. I'm going to just take my hands and I'm just going to coat all of the seasonings onto the shrimp tails. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover this. And I'm going to place this into my refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour. Alright, let's get started with making our seasoned egg batter. So in this small glass bowl, I have 3 large eggs at room temperature. And to that, I'm just going to sprinkle about 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning and 1/4 teaspoon of Chef Paul's Seafood Magic. I'm going to just take my whisk and I'm just going to stir this until combined. A little bit of seasoning goes a long way, you know. There we go. Alright, let's get started with our seasoned flour mixture. So in this medium-sized plastic bowl, I'm going to add 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/2 cup of plain panko breadcrumbs. Now, as you can see, this is the Italian version that I'm using. Don't use that, use the original. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of Chef Paul's Seafood Magic, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to go ahead and take my spoon and I'm just going to give this a quick stir. Now we just want a small amount of seasoning in here. We don't want a lot of seasoning because we're just going to coat these shrimp anyways with a sauce. So we don't need to add a lot of seasoning to the actual batters like this and the egg batter. Just a little bit. Alright, let's get started with making the honey sauce mixture. So in this medium-sized bowl, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of honey, 1/2 cup of rice cooking wine, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Now I'm going to take my whisk and I'm just going to stir this until combined. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to set this on the side and we're going to cook this on the stove after we fry the shrimp. Preheat your fire to medium heat. And if you have a deep fryer, you want to preheat it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, let's get started with the preparation of frying our shrimp. So in this medium-sized pot, I'm going to add 48 fluid ounces of canola oil. Now, if you have a deep fryer, you may need to add more oil according to the instructions on your deep fryer on how much oil to add. So you want to keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to let the oil get hot until the temperature of the oil reaches 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is it. We have all of our seasoning mixes and our shrimp marinated and our sauce good to go. Now let's go ahead and get started with frying our shrimp. Before you begin frying your shrimp, make sure you have a cooling rack with an 11 by 17 inch baking pan underneath it ready. All right, first we're going to take some of our marinated shrimp. We're just going to add it into the egg mixture. We're just going to lightly coat the shrimp with the egg mixture. I'm just going to remove a few of them out of there at a time and just give it a shake to remove some of the egg mixture off as you want a light coating. And from there, you're going to take it and add it into the seasoned all-purpose flour batter. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover this. And I'm going to just shake the bowl to coat that seasoned all-purpose flour batter onto the shrimp. Just take some of the shrimp and just shake it off to remove some of the seasoned all-purpose flour batter off as we want a light coating. And from there, we're just going to take it and add it into the hot oil. Now, frying times vary depending on the shrimp, the size of the shrimp, your deep fryer, your pot, and your stove. You want to keep all that in mind. Now, you're going to let this fry for about 3 to 4 minutes. All right, it's been about 3 to 4 minutes now. Now, you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Now, we're going to go ahead and remove our shrimp out of the hot oil. I'm just going to wait a few seconds to let some of that oil drain off. And from there, I'm going to transfer it onto a cooling rack with an 11 by 17 inch baking pan underneath it. They're going to let this cool for about 5 minutes. Preheat your fire to medium heat. All right, let's cook our sauce mixture. So in this large saucepan, I'm just going to pour the honey sauce right on in there. I'm going to just give this a quick stir. Now you're going to let this simmer for about 2 minutes or until the sauce thickens. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the shrimp. I'm going to just stir this in. I just want a light coating of the shrimp, so you got to keep stirring it. And there we have it. Our honey shrimp is done. Look at that. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Crispy honey shrimp over a bed of rice, made by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. Now I have an official website for all of my recipes, including for this delicious crispy honey shrimp. You can go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. It's a mountain of shrimp. What I'm gonna do? About to dig in. That's what I'm about to do. Woo. Y'all, this shrimp is so good. Shrimp is pretty big. It's well seasoned. Has a nice little light crisp to it. And then that honey sauce. Oh my God. I'm telling y'all. Try the recipe. It's on point. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.